Well, you've joined me today at the fantastic Worsbrough Res for a little bit of pleasure fishing, and why not on such a lovely summer's day. And I've sat myself in peg one on the Sheffield bank. I've never had the privilege of drawing this peg in the match, so I felt, while nobody's in it, got to fish it. There's loads of scope here. I've got the open water in front of me. I've got the banking over there, which is around 100 metres to the tree. I reckon it's just over 100 metres, about 105 metres. And then also, if you look down there, I've got a nice little margin line as well. It's only really shallow, and I've had quite a few fish down that edge today. Initially I've caught throwing across there, but it's really snaggy, and I've lost a few fish in snags, but every time I've casted over there I've had a bite. And only because I'm pleasure fishing. I don't want to sit losing tackle all the time, so I've just been sat down the edge having a nice day margin fishing, not catching many fish, but the size of the fish are absolutely stunning. But for the last hour and a bit it's slowed down, but still enjoyed it nevertheless. So for my long chucking, I've been using the Shimano Aero. You can see it there, Shimano Aero X7 distance feeder. Now this is 100 grams, which is perfect for this kind of scenario where I might be wanting to fish up to and over 100 metres. It's the best casting rod I've ever used, and a lot of that is down to a really thin blank, loads of power in the butt, and it's also got a few kind of like key features, unique selling points, like an extended butt, and that really helps. If you can see that extension there, that really helps when you're compressing the rod. You've got more leverage, you've got more power, you've got more force, and that really does aid the distance that you can cast, and it makes your casting at distance easier. I've also been using the Shimano Super Ultegra XTC 5500 with 018 mainline and a 12-pound shock leader. Of course, you're putting your rod through quite a lot of pressure in the cast, so it's important to use a shock leader, and it just makes everything easier because you're using a thinner main line, there's less resistance. Fishing at range is easier with a shock leader and a thinner main line, whether it's mono or braid. And then down at the business end, Guru medium hybrid 50 gram, which is ample for this kind of fishing. If it was windy and I still needed to reach that distance, I'd fish a heavier feeder like a 55 or a 60. Formal 7mm yellow washed, size 12 QM1, 020 4-inch hook length, and that's it. Quite simple. And to be honest with you, you know, if I was in a match, then I think I'd be spending more time out there catching those fish. But look, I'm pleasure fishing, and I'd just rather sit there, enjoy the sun, and hopefully just occasionally catch the odd big lump down the edge, and that's exactly what's happening. But that is my tackle that I've been using for my long chucking. And then for down the margin, I've been using the X5, Shimano X5 12 foot. Now, because of the size of the fish in this lake, I want a rod with a bit of power and a bit of control, and that's why, rather than, let's say I'm only fishing maybe 12 metres down the bank in 2 foot of water on a normal commercial, I'll be using a 10-foot rod. But the size of the fish in here, I could hook into anything over 20 pounds. I want a rod that's got control and power, and so that's why I'm using the 12 foot. Exactly the same reel as well, Shimano XTC, but I'm fishing 024 mainline, 8 pound. It's a prototype line, straight through, no nonsense. You know, I'm fishing down the margins, don't need a shot lead, I just want a really nice abrasive line, and that's exactly what this line is. Exactly the same setup as my long rod, my 13-foot X7, but with the X5 I'm only using a 30 gram like medium hybrid, obviously because I'm only underarming it and fishing it down the edge. I don't need that extra weight. 30 grams, absolutely perfect. Exactly the same hook, 12 QM1 with a 7mm washed, and really simple but effective setup. Now let's have a go and see if I can get another one down the margin. There are a few fish moving today because they're in spawning mode, and I think when it's a day like this, how many fish I've seen on the surface is unbelievable. Like that. That was ridiculous. Goes chucking after resting it. Right. Well, that's a nice fish, isn't it? It's a clonker. Got some power in him. Now that is what it's all about, isn't it? Look at that for a fish. That is beautiful. That's like a golden common. That is amazing. Let's get it in the sun. That is what it's all about. Look at colour on that. Beautiful. Weighing it? No, it's about £9–10 I reckon, maybe a bit bigger.